When you look at me that way, I feel like my heart is completely exposed. In that gaze of yours, every wall I've built around my heart starts to crumble. You don't know it, but with one look, you melt away all my defenses. There's a way you look at me that makes me feel both terrified and safe at the same time. Your eyes see right through me, right to the depths of who I really am. When you look at me like that, my whole world shifts, and I'm drawn to you, powerless to resist. I can't pretend around you. Your gaze pulls the truth from my soul. In that moment, when you look at me, I am stripped of all my fears and doubts. I feel like my heart is in your hands every time your eyes meet mine. When you look at me like that, it feels like you're reading the secrets of my soul. That gaze of yours, it's like a spell, undoing every barrier I've carefully built. When you look at me, I am both scared and exhilarated, caught in the intensity of your stare. You look at me as if you can see the parts of myself I've kept hidden for so long. Every glance from you has the power to dismantle my carefully constructed defenses. When your eyes are on me, I feel seen in a way I've never felt before. With just one look, you manage to make me feel vulnerable and cherished all at once. That look, it disarms me, leaving me completely at your mercy. When you look at me that way, I feel my heart racing, unable to hide my feelings. In that gaze, there's something unspoken yet deeply understood between us. When you look at me, it's like you're inviting me to let go of my fears. I've never felt so open, so bare, as when you look at me with those eyes. It's as if you're reaching into my soul with a simple look. Your gaze alone makes me feel vulnerable and, oddly enough, secure. There's a softness in your eyes that invites me to drop my guard. When you look at me that way, I feel as if the whole world falls away. It's strange how one look from you can make me question everything I thought I knew. Your gaze is a mirror, reflecting back all the emotions I try to hide. When you look at me, I feel like I could fall apart and yet be held together by you. That look of yours has a power I can't resist, leaving me open and vulnerable. When you look at me, I feel like you know all my weaknesses, yet don't judge me for them. I've never felt so exposed, yet so comforted as I do when you look at me that way. Your gaze cuts through all my pretenses, leaving only the raw, real me. In that moment, when our eyes meet, it's like everything else fades into the background. I feel a magnetic pull whenever you look at me, as if I'm drawn to you completely. There's a warmth in your eyes that makes me want to trust you with my whole heart. Your look has the power to quiet all my fears and calm my racing thoughts. It's in that look, that silent connection, that I feel the depth of what words can't express. You look at me in a way that makes me believe in the possibility of love. With just one look, you unravel every fear I've ever had about opening up. When you look at me, I feel like you're seeing past my walls, right into my soul. Your gaze brings a sense of peace that I can't find anywhere else. When you look at me like that, it's as if I'm free to be my truest self. There's something in your eye that encourages me to let go of all my defenses. In that look, I feel both the intensity of passion and the comfort of security. When you look at me, it feels like a promise of something profound. Every time your eyes meet mine, it's like you're asking me to trust you with my heart. There's a tenderness in the way you look at me that makes my heart melt. You look at me like you understand me in ways even I don't understand myself. In that gaze, I feel like I'm no longer alone in this world. Your eyes speak a language that touches my soul, even when no words are spoken. When you look at me that way, I feel like I'm truly seen for the first time. With one look, you make me feel more vulnerable than I've ever felt before. Your gaze alone has the power to strip away every mask I wear. It's as if your eyes know secrets about me that I haven't even told myself. When you look at me, I feel a trust that I've rarely felt with anyone else. In your eyes, I see an invitation to let down my guard and just be. That look, it disarms me completely, leaving my heart open and exposed. When our eyes lock, I feel as if we're sharing a connection that words could never capture. You look at me with an understanding that transcends words, and I can't help but surrender. There's something in the way you look at me that makes my heart want to trust again. In that moment, when you look at me, the world feels both vast and intimate. Your gaze has the power to ignite feelings I thought I'd long buried. When you look at me, I am reminded that I am worthy of love and connection. Every glance from you feels like an unspoken promise, urging me to open my heart. When your eyes meet mine, it's as if time stands still and nothing else matters. That look carries the weight of unshared stories and untold dreams. In your eyes, I find solace, a refuge from the chaos of the world. You look at me with a depth that makes me question what else is possible. Your gaze has a way of wrapping around my heart, inviting me to let go. When you look at me, the fears I've held so tightly start to loosen their grip. There's a quiet understanding in your eyes that calms the storm inside me. When you look at me like that, I feel the urge to share my secrets and fears. Your look awakens a part of me that has been dormant for far too long. In that gaze, I see not just the present, but the potential for a beautiful future. When you look at me, it feels as if my soul is being gently caressed. Your eyes speak a truth that resonates deep within my being. There's a magic in the way you look at me, making me feel alive and cherished. With each glance, you peel back the layers of my heart, revealing my true self. When you look at me that way, I feel the courage to be completely authentic. Your gaze pulls me in like gravity, making it hard to look away. In your eyes, I see a reflection of all my hopes and dreams waiting to unfold. When you look at me, the noise of the world fades, leaving only our connection. Your look has the power to illuminate my darkest corners with warmth and light. When you gaze at me, I feel a rush of vulnerability, as if I'm finally home. There's a profound stillness in your look that makes my heart race. Your eyes reveal the kind of understanding that I've yearned for my entire life. When you look at me, I can't help but feel seen, heard, and accepted. In that moment, our souls intertwine, creating a bond that feels eternal. Your look ignites a spark of hope, reminding me of the beauty in vulnerability. With one glance, you awaken the dreams I thought I had forgotten. When you look at me, I feel a rush of emotions I can hardly contain. Your gaze is a gentle invitation to explore the depths of my heart. There's an undeniable chemistry in the way you look at me that leaves me breathless. In that look, I see a future filled with love, trust, and endless possibilities. Your eyes hold a wisdom that comforts me in ways I cannot explain. When you look at me that way, I know I can trust you with my heart. Every time our eyes meet, I feel a sense of belonging that I've craved. Your gaze is a balm for my soul, soothing the wounds I've carried. When you look at me, I feel the freedom to express my truest emotions. There's a magnetic pull in your eyes that makes me want to dive deeper into us. Your look invites me to explore the uncharted territories of my heart. When you look at me, I am reminded of the beauty that exists in being vulnerable. That gaze carries the weight of unspoken words, a language only we understand. Your eyes are a safe harbor where I can let down my guard without fear. In your look, I find the courage to embrace my imperfections and flaws. When you look at me like that, it feels as if you're seeing my soul's essence. Your gaze sparks a longing to share everything I've kept hidden away.